So Star Wars, The Force Awakens is finally here. I finally get to review it, and honestly, I'm happy to say that it's a really great film. It's fantastic, and I really enjoyed it.
So what did I like about this film? Daisy Ridley as Rey, John Boyega as Finn, Oscar Isaac as Poe Dameron were great new additions to the Star Wars series, and they all turned in fantastic performances as the brand new characters, and they were all very likable in their roles. And shout out to Domhnall Gleeson for that amazing speech he gave. Maz Kanata and Supreme Leader Snoke were the two motion capture characters in this movie. Andy Serkis and Lupita Nyong'o gave good performances. The CGI felt a little out of place, and I wasn't a big fan of their designs. Harrison Ford was great back as Han Solo. He didn't feel like he was phoning it in. He didn't feel like he was acting like Harrison Ford. I felt like he was acting like a more experienced Han Solo, an older Han Solo, and it was great to see him back as Han Solo again. Carrie Fisher back as Leia was decent, but I wouldn't blame her because she hasn't acted in a while, and it does show in this film, and it does take away from the more emotional scene she has with Han, but she's not terrible. So overall, I think getting back in the game, Carrie Fisher did a great job. Mark Hamill was in one scene at the very end as Luke Skywalker. And yes, at first I was very disappointed that he wasn't in the film more, but when I start to think in terms of the story they were trying to make, and he really wasn't in any of the trailers or marketing, I feel like if they had Luke in the end and they extended that scene even more, I feel like it would feel forced and out of place, and it would have dragged on the film more than it needed to be. So even with that one scene, I think Mark Hamill did a great job with the expressions he did with his face. He just portrayed so many emotions with all the expressions portrayed in that one scene, and Daisy really did a good job with that too. So overall, even though he was in one scene, I think Mark Hamill did a great job with what he had to do. Adam Driver's Kylo Ren is so far my favorite character in this new trilogy. I feel like with Kylo Ren, some people wanted another Darth Vader, and I thought he was going to be, but what I like about him is that he isn't. He feels like he has to live up to Darth Vader, a person who he looks up to and knows that he can't be like him. He knows he can't live up to Darth Vader, and he has temptations of going to the light side. He has temper tantrums, he gets frustrated. All these aspects just make him feel like a very real character to me, an interesting character. And I love the idea of a not fully formed villain who feels like a person, not just some stereotypical bad guy. The visual effects are great. I love the practical effects. They make the world feel more real, and it's just not an overabundance of CG. And when the film does have CG, it looks amazing. It's really nice to look out. The cinematography and the direction in this film are just great. John Williams' new score was disappointing at first, but the more I listen to it, it's actually pretty good. It's not bad, it's not terrible, it's just not as memorable as, say, the original trilogy soundtrack or the prequel trilogy soundtrack, and I do enjoy it very much. So what didn't I like about this film? When the film explained how Poe Dameron survived the TIE fighter crash, and when R2-D2 just randomly turns on, I feel like it was a lazy writing, and it took me out of the film, and I think they just could have done an overall better job at explaining that. That one scene with the Rathtars wasn't necessary. I feel like it didn't progress the plot at all, and it didn't add to the overall story, and I don't like the look at the Rathtars. They just feel too CG to me.
So that's my review. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I have more reviews coming up in the future, so if you'd like to see those and you like this video, do me a favor. Subscribe and become a fellow knight, and I'll see you guys in another video.